In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 8, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Golden State Warriors versus Indiana Pacers. The upcoming matchup between the Golden State Warriors, holding a 23-25 record, and the Indiana Pacers, with a 29-23 record, sets the stage for a compelling West versus East showdown. Currently positioned in 11th place in the competitive Western Conference, the Warriors are trailing the Jazz by just a game and a half. On the other hand, the Pacers, who are on a 2-game winning streak, occupy the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, narrowly leading the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic by a mere game and a half. Notably, the Pacers boast a 12-13 record on the road this season. Having secured victories in 4 of their last 5 games, the Golden State Warriors are in decent form and look to extend their winning streak to 3 games. Their recent triumph over the injury-plagued Philadelphia 76ers showcased a dominant performance, with Andrew Wiggins leading the team with 21 points and 10 rebounds. The Warriors displayed their offensive prowess by shooting 50% from the field and making 16 of 38 attempts from beyond the arc. Despite a slow start with only 15 points in the first quarter, the Warriors rebounded with a 33-point second quarter and continued their momentum in the second half, ultimately securing a convincing 127-104 road victory. The Indiana Pacers, also in good form with 5 wins in their last 8 games, aim to achieve a 3rd consecutive victory. In their recent matchup against the Houston Rockets, the Pacers displayed impressive offensive efficiency. Pascal Siakam led the team with 29 points on 11 of 16 shooting, contributing to a team shooting percentage of 62% from the field. The Pacers managed to turn a 10-point deficit into a 14-point lead in the third quarter, ultimately securing a 132-129 home win. Despite their success, the Pacers face uncertainty with key players such as Benedict Mathurin, Jalen Smith, and Tyrese Halliburton, all listed as questionable. The Warriors continue to face challenges with the absence of Gary Payton and Chris Paul. The Pacers, on the other hand, closely monitor the availability of Mathurin, Smith, and Halliburton. The defensive struggles of the Pacers could worsen if Mathurin and Halliburton are unavailable, and the absence of Smith's rebounding could further impact their performance on the court. In contrast, the Warriors are determined to secure crucial victories to remain in contention for a playoff spot in the highly competitive Western Conference. Despite being on the second leg of a back-to-back, the Warriors present a formidable challenge for the Pacers. Although the Pacers may be favored at home with a rest advantage, the questionable status of Halliburton, Mathurin, and Smith raises concerns about their overall strength. The Warriors, despite the demanding schedule, have won 4 of their last 5 games and are relatively healthy. The experienced veterans on the Warriors roster recognize the importance of making a playoff push, adding an element of unpredictability to the matchup. As the Warriors show signs of improvement with 4 wins in their last 5 outings, they face a potentially depleted Pacers team missing key players. While the absence of Draymond Green may impact their playmaking, the combination of Steph Curry and Jonathan Kuminga leading the scoring charge could keep the game competitive. It is advisable to monitor the lineups before tip-off, but considering potential player absences for the Pacers, the Golden State Warriors to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Anticipating the Pacers giving Tyrese Halliburton a day off, the team may opt to dial back their potent offensive attack. Without Halliburton and the possibility of Mathurin's absence, the Pacers might struggle to score as prolifically as usual. Furthermore, the recurring back injury of Jalen Smith puts the Pacers at a notable disadvantage on the boards, especially against a Golden State team ranked 7th in defensive rebounding. Playing the second game of a back-to-back, the Golden State Warriors face uncertainties about the availability of key players, including Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins. If Green, particularly, is unable to suit up, the Warriors will be without their top passer, intensifying the offensive burden on Steph Curry, who would have to balance leading the offense and scoring given the absence of Chris Paul. Considering the potential challenges both teams may encounter, under the projected total is our full game total pick. This decision takes into account the potential defensive struggles of the Pacers, coupled with the uncertainties surrounding the Warriors lineup, creating a scenario where the total score might fall below expectations. San Antonio Spurs vs. Orlando Magic. San Antonio Spurs and Orlando Magic are set to engage in a compelling interconference matchup, showcasing a stark contrast in their current playoff standings. While the Spurs find themselves struggling, residing well outside the playoff picture, the Magic are vigorously battling to secure their spot in the postseason. This showdown unfolds in the Sunshine State, with the Spurs hitting the road to face the Magic on a Thursday night. San Antonio, in the midst of a challenging back-to-back series, faced the Miami Heat on the road the previous night, succumbing to a 117-101 defeat. In their prior matchup on Saturday, the Spurs suffered a 117-101 loss at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers, failing to cover the spread as a 10.5-point underdog. On the other hand, the Magic experienced a setback with a 121-95 defeat on the road against the Miami Heat, unable to cover the line as a 3-point underdog. Despite the Spurs holding a historical regular season advantage of 49-21 in their matchups, the Magic claimed a 108-98 victory in their first encounter this season on January 31st. The San Antonio Spurs find themselves in a precarious position, having encountered a slump with losses in 11 of their last 14 games. A 5-game losing streak looms large after their recent 116-104 defeat against the Heat. Tre Jones emerged as a standout performer for the Spurs with 19 points and 6 assists, supported by Devin Vassell's 19 points on 8 of 1-8 shooting and Victor Wembanyama's 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. Despite a commendable effort, the Spurs faced a formidable challenge, shooting 45% from the field and 12 of 37 from the three-point line. The game remained a closely contested affair until the fourth quarter, where the Spurs succumbed to a 38-point barrage, sealing their fate in a double-digit loss. Conversely, the Orlando Magic have exhibited a relatively positive performance, securing victories in 4 of their last 6 games. However, their 3-game winning streak came to an abrupt end with a resounding 121-95 road defeat against the Miami Heat. Paolo Banchero spearheaded the Magic's effort with 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Wendell Carter Jr. contributed 15 points on 6 of 9 shooting. Despite their collective effort, the Magic struggled, shooting 43% from the field and 10 of 35 from the three-point line. A slow start, particularly in the first quarter where they scored only 19 points, set the tone for their downfall, leading to a challenging second half where they were outscored 65-46. Jalen Suggs, in particular, had an off night, managing only 3 points on 1 of 7 shooting. The upcoming game poses additional challenges for the San Antonio Spurs as they navigate the second leg of a back-to-back scenario, a situation that has proven troublesome for them this season. Despite their struggles, the Magic enjoy the comfort of returning home, boasting a 15-7 record in home games. Orlando holds the rest advantage, and their healthy roster presents a formidable factor. In their recent encounter just over a week ago, the Magic secured a 108-98 victory as 6-point favorites on the road. Despite both teams exhibiting comparable shooting percentages, the Magic's dominance was evident, allowing them to ease off in the final quarter. The Spurs' proficiency in three-pointers did little to alter the outcome, as the Magic's overall performance overshadowed them. The statistical parity extended to turnovers, with both teams displaying a degree of sloppiness. The Magic's superior performance against the spread, with a 33-18 record, positions them as strong contenders. In contrast, the Spurs' recent struggles, marked by a 1-4 against the spread record in their last 5 games, highlight their vulnerability. Despite San Antonio's commendable effort in the previous night's game against the Heat, the downward spiral continues. The Magic, coming off a tough loss to the Heat, aim to rebound and capitalize on their home advantage. While laying double-digit chalk in the NBA may not be enticing, supporting the Spurs appears less favorable due to their defensive shortcomings and a recent failure to cover in the majority of their games. Moreover, the Magic's impressive 33-18 against the spread record positions them as one of the top covering teams in the league. The Spurs, playing on 0 days rest, face an uphill battle, making the Orlando Magic to win and cover the spread as favorites our full-game side pick. Delving into the team's recent performances, San Antonio has often exceeded the projected total, surpassing the number in 26 of their 50 games this season. Their 26th ranking in turnovers, with an average of 14.8 per contest, reflects an area of concern. Conversely, Orlando has maintained a trend of staying under the number in 27 of their 51 games, showcasing a more conservative offensive approach. The Magic's 23rd rank in turnovers, averaging 14.5 per contest, aligns with their defensive focus. Furthermore, their below-average pace, ranking 21st with 98.2 possessions per game, contributes to a slower tempo. In their recent encounter, the teams combined for 206 points, with both sides shooting slightly above their season averages. However, extensive turnovers and sloppy play kept the score in check, with the Spurs attempting 80 shots and the Magic 86. Despite San Antonio's 5th rank in pace, Orlando's 23rd rank exerts a slowing influence. Both teams have struggled to surpass 113 and 108 points, respectively, in their recent games, contributing to a total of 49 games hitting the under this season. Considering the Spurs' fatigue and the Magic's defensive prowess coupled with their below-average offensive output, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Cavaliers vs. Brooklyn Nets. The resurgence of Eastern Conference basketball is set to unfold on Thursday night as the scorching Cleveland Cavaliers clash with the Brooklyn Nets. The Cavaliers find themselves in the midst of a back-to-back scenario, having played in Washington the night before. In their recent matchup, the Nets suffered a 119-107 home defeat against the Dallas Mavericks, failing to cover as 2.5-point underdogs. This game marks the third encounter between the two teams this season, with the Cavaliers holding a 2-0 lead, securing victories both at home and on the road. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been on an impressive winning streak, triumphing in 15 of their last 16 games. Their recent triumph was a hard-fought 114-106 road win against the Washington Wizards, with Donovan Mitchell leading the charge, contributing 40 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Evan Mobley added 22 points with 8 rebounds, while Darius Garland chipped in with 13 points. Despite facing a resilient Wizards team, the Cavaliers managed to secure the victory with a crucial 7-0 run in the fourth quarter. The team showcased their shooting prowess, connecting on 48% from the field and 12 of 35 from beyond the arc. Conversely, the Brooklyn Nets have faced challenges recently, losing 6 of their last 9 games. Hoping to avoid a third consecutive defeat, they suffered a 119-107 loss to the Dallas Mavericks in their previous outing. Mikal Bridges led the team with 28 points, supported by Royce O'Neal with 18 points off the bench, and Cam Thomas with 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Despite shooting 45% from the field and 12 of 33 from three-point range, the Nets struggled to contain the Mavericks' dynamic duo of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, who combined for 71 points. The Nets trailed by as many as 23 points but mounted a late comeback in the fourth quarter. The injury report reveals that the Cavaliers are still without Ty Jerome, while the Nets continue to miss key players such as Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Lonnie Walker. Following their game in Washington on Wednesday, the Cavaliers enter the matchup on the second night of a back-to-back. Donovan Mitchell's stellar performance with 29 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in the recent win over Sacramento highlights the team's 6-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Evan Mobley's contributions with 14 rebounds and 7 assists in his 4th game back from surgery are significant as the Cavaliers approach the All-Star break. In contrast, the Nets find themselves in a challenging situation, contemplating changes at the upcoming trade deadline. Considering the Cavaliers' recent game against Washington, where they won but failed to cover the spread, they now face the additional challenge of traveling to Brooklyn for another matchup. The Nets, hungry for a victory and positioned 11th in the Eastern Conference, see this game against a team on the tail end of a back-to-back as a must-win scenario. The acquisition of Ben Simmons, a versatile 6'9" ball handler, adds a defensive and playmaking dimension to the Nets lineup. Playing him alongside Bridges and Thomas, with Claxton in the dunker spot, strengthens their lineup. The Cleveland Cavaliers have showcased exceptional form in the past month, both straight up and against the spread, and they enter this matchup in a relatively healthy state. On the other hand, the Brooklyn Nets are not only accumulating losses but have also seen a decline in their profitability, standing at 23-25-2 against the spread for the season. The absence of key players like Johnson, Finney-Smith, and Walker further complicates the Nets' situation. The Cavaliers' 4 consecutive wins against the Nets, including a 9-point victory last month, established them as favorites despite playing on 0 days rest. The Cavaliers, arguably the hottest team in the league, are still deserving favorites in this matchup, demonstrating greater reliability and consistency. So the Cleveland Cavaliers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Despite being on a back-to-back, the Cavaliers boast a healthy roster with the ability to manage minutes effectively for their starters. Evan Mobley's return to full strength after a month-long absence adds to their offensive prowess. Facing the struggling Washington Wizards on Wednesday should mitigate concerns about fatigue for this contest. In contrast, the Nets exhibited a lackluster defensive performance against the Mavericks, leaving shooters open for uncontested threes. The Cavaliers are poised to capitalize on the Nets' defensive struggles, potentially scoring heavily in this matchup. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.